Live. Ta-da! Welcome to MacBean Sky Fitness. Question and answers in 1,001 ways to exercise. Woo! I picked up one of these headlamps a while ago. And I know where it was. I finally refound it. One of these times, I'm going to do a midnight walk with these. I'm probably going to order a second one so I can have the area lit up. And I'll take a midnight walk back in the woods, see what I can find. So I'll have the camera, I'll have the headlamp, maybe a second one so I can have like right and left viewings. Probably handheld flashlight to spot in to other things. So, late start today. I slept in. I get about 7.5 hours of sleep, which was most beneficial. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. I've already had my first breakfast, which was kind of a simple breakfast. Consisted of coffee, milk, and a banana. All right, get that potassium in, get some calories in. And I like to have a small breakfast at first. When I first get up, to kind of get my hunger fed. It's like almost I have to have the pre-meal. I'm just going to do a grapefruit today. A lot of times I'll do a grapefruit, an orange, and lemon and lime. Today I'm just going to do a grapefruit. And tomorrow I'll probably do the orange, lemon, and lime drink. And with the grapefruit, I'm just going to eat it. It's a very simple process to do. Now, as a kid, my dad would do slice all the little cells out and I'd scoop it out. Well, now I do it the faster way. Yeah, it's really the juices that I want. Yeah, so good. And it's a nice light meal. It's a diuretic, so it helps you lose weight. I don't need to see. It's so good, I can't tell you. So that feels really good. I tell you, there's a lot of quick energy. Fruit sugars are a much better form of sugar for you than cane sugar, or even worse than that, sugar cane, or not sugar cane, corn syrup. So I was talking to my son today, and we were talking about some of the health issues that we're starting to see in the general populace and what are the causes. And there's always more than one cause. There is something to say for population pressure. So population pressure, and I'll probably mention this a second time in the video when I know I got more people in this live stream. Right now it seems like probably the notification to get sent out because I only scheduled it for 10 minutes ahead of the actual time. I think you almost have to set it for a half hour for everybody to get notified. But hopefully they'll see that. But what are the causes for some of our health ailments that we're starting to see in the world? So we'll talk about population pressure. As populations grow, in any population, whether it's human, whether it's animal, you're going to have diseases pop in that you hadn't seen before. So generally when you're living in a rural area that's sparsely populated, and if it was not, just say it was secluded, you don't see very much disease. You don't see very much issues with cancers and things like that. Now, when you get into a city where you have a lot of people in close quarters, well, the diseases are spread more easily. And you start seeing other things happening in society. So we're looking at the military is having a hard time finding a few good young men and women that can physically meet the requirements. So it's getting to the point where World War II, I would say 90% of the male population easily could meet the physical requirements for military service. I think when I went in the late 70s, we'll say maybe that was 75% could make the minimum qualities for military service. Now they're saying it's only 30%. So only 30% of the young men and women wanting to go into service can actually meet the standards. Why is that? Well, physical activity for the most part with our younger generation, with the children, are not as pushed as much as before. So when I was a young lad, and as soon as I woke up and had breakfast, I was out the door. I was going like the wind. I don't know. We were running, we were bicycling, we were playing tag, we were playing football, soccer, baseball, softball. We played everything. Okay, I'm going to scoot my camera a little bit. We'll see how that is. See if it improves. Okay, it looks like I still have a signal. But we were doing everything to stay physically active. So we could run, we could jump. We were very physically active. We built forts. We used to make little dams in the creek. So we'd have an area where the water would raise higher. So then bigger fish could actually live in there. We were constantly outdoors, constantly active. Today's kids, in a larger percentage, are staying inside the house. They are in front of an Xbox. They're in front of a PlayStation. They're in front of a PC. They're not physically active. If you're in a big city, it might be the safer place for them. Unless you're going to take them down to the park and supervise them yourself, which you almost need to. In the country, still no reason why we don't go out and decide and play. So that's kind of a curiosity, is why that has seemed to cease to happen. Why is that? I don't know. I think parents are part to blame, but the kids are part to blame too. I mean, when I was a kid, there's no way I was going to stay inside the house. Now, granted, we didn't have the Xboxes and the PlayStations. We didn't have all those distractions. And when it was a rainy day, I read books, but I had to be active. And I think an active childhood makes for an active adulthood. Now, a lot of people, especially adults, are changing their ways, are realizing, hey, I wasn't active when I was younger. I want to get into a gym. I'm going to get into a yoga class. I'm going to start walking around a track. I'm going to do something to improve my health. So it's never too late to start. And today is always the best day to start. So you have to kind of look at that. But you need to be active. Physical activity builds stronger bones, stronger muscles, stronger tendons, a sharper mind. As a rule, those who are in sports tend to have better letter grades in academics. Not always the case, but as a rule, we take a generalization. The more sports they in, the better their grade point average is. The more that they're involved in school, the better their grade point average is, because they have an interest to be in school. If your kid's not interested in being in school, you need to go visit the school and find out why. I always was involved in the school. I coached. I went to every parent-teachers conference. Even though my kids were straight A's, I still went to them. Those teachers, when there was a parent-teacher conferences, always showed up. So they knew who we were. They knew that we were interested in our child's future. So if you do have young children, encourage them to do outdoor activities. If it's just running around the house a few times, chasing snakes and frogs, whatever. Really need to get them off the Xbox. There's a time and place for it. Bad weather, it's too cold, it's too rainy, whatever. Kind of keep entertained, that's fine. But the Xbox should not be your babysitter. All right, during the school year, the Xbox was packed away. There was no Xbox, including the weekends. They were in school. That was what they were supposed to be doing. During the summer, you got an hour. That was it. Weather's. I know it's tough when both parents are working full-time jobs. And I know it's tough when you come home and you're tired, but you need to invest time with your children, and you need to encourage them with physical activity because that will help their mental facilities. So we're going to talk about 1,001 ways to work out. Because too often I get, well, that's not the way to do it. Yes, it is. It may not be the way you do it. It may not be the way the person next to you does it, but it's the way I do it. Or that exercise doesn't do anything for you. Yes, it does. Any exercise has a benefit. You cannot move anything without contracting a muscle. All right? Unless you're a telepathic, that'd be pretty cool. Or telekinesis, you can't move unless you contract a muscle. The tricep contracts to move the arm this way. The bicep contracts to move this way. The wrists are corrected in numerous ways to get you to do this. And that's amazing that you can actually move and move in that direction. You know how many muscles it takes for that to happen? This is just 2 muscles. That's just 3 muscles. Here, probably got 10 or 15 going on at the same time. Look out. Got a lot of them going out here. So anything that's moving, heavy weights, low reps, they're all beneficial. So don't ever have anybody say, oh, that exercise don't do anything for you. That's a fallacy. That's a lie. All exercises are beneficial to your muscles, are beneficial to your heart, are beneficial to your circulatory system, are beneficial to your ligaments and joints, and your mental health. So there's 1,001 ways to do an exercise. Now, you want to have proper form for the most part, but what one person's proper form may vary from another one because we all are built different. Big hands, small hands, long arms, short arms, long torso, short torso, all going to look different when we lift. Just as long as we're not bent into an uncomfortable position. If it hurts to do the exercise, if there's physical pain doing that exercise, then you need to rethink the exercise. Either your form is wrong or you need to find another way to work out that muscle in a more supported thing. So if you can't do squats, then do the leg press machine. Okay, it does the same muscles. Just don't say, hey, look, I got a new PR. It's great that you did, but everybody's going to kind of get on you on that. All right. Same with deadlifts or machines that will do those things where you don't sit there and have the potential to lower your lower back. Now, I still do them, and I'm still going to keep doing them. But, I start with low weights, and I slowly go up in weight. All right. So I'm slowly seeing it. Right. I get to the point where I'm going, oh, that's uncomfortable. Now I know I'm done. And I will go to another type of exercise to do that same lift. Actually, go from SOG. It makes some pretty cool weapons. So I got me a nice axe. Because I need to axe somebody. Got a good blade on it. Is this for chopping wood? No. Can it chop wood? Yes. Will I chop wood with it? No. I have a more simpler one for that. All right. This is a self-defense weapon. You gotta be really careful with it. It's sharp on all edges. All right. This one I picked up at my last medieval fair. I just thought it looked cool. So it is. All right, little dirk. All right, is this for slicing bread? No. All right. Why do I have it? It looks cool. I like the way it looks. I have my coffee mug and my cooler and my logo. Here is my state senior Olympics medal from Illinois. Yay! Much rejoicing. Remember, July 11th, I go to nationals, which will be far more difficult to try to win a medal there. But I'm going to do my best. That's all you can ask of somebody. Just try to do your best. At the food bucket, I'm almost having to dump this every day now that I'm doing the fruits along with the vegetables and the eggs. So what did I do? Well, I went and got the other bacon. Remember the bacon, I'm also using, besides for food and flavor, I'm using it as a cooking media for my red and green peppers, and then for my eggs. So remember peppers from the other day. I'll get about 4 meals out of these. So you figure I spent $2. They're a little bit under $1 a piece, throw taxes in there, $1 a piece. $2, I'll get to use these for 4 different meals. Yeah, at least, maybe even squeak a fifth one in there. I picked up the bacon for $4.99 a pound. And this is really good premium bacon. That's why I grabbed another pound of it. I got another 2 pounds in the freezer from when I bought at Hy-Vee. So probably, maybe this weekend, I'll make a Hy-Vee run to get more of the bacon. So I got that going. Always cut in half just to make it easier to fit the pan so they don't curl as much. And then remember, if the bacon isn't enough to provide the grease, and I always can add some butter. All right, notice I'm not using seed oils. All right, not using spray pan. So there's a use for it. There's a time and place for everything. This isn't it. I'm cooking from scratch as much as can be. Because the processed foods is the other part of the problem. So when we look at what causes poor physical health, lack of exercise is one part of that scenario. The other part of that scenario is what you're eating. What you're eating is probably more important than the exercise itself. So garbage in, garbage out, as they say. So things that I try to avoid on the most part, fast food. I am anti-fast food. It's the worst thing for you. I'm thinking I might miss some of my people because I'm live streaming later than I usually do. But hopefully some of you all will come around here pretty quick. So now I got the bacon cooking. I'm going to chop up green pepper. And remember, Cutco knives. See my buddy Lucky O'Day, which is in the description. I really like these knives. They're high quality. Fit really well in my hand. All right, so I got those out there. And if you ever need them sharpened, they will sharpen them for you for free. Not that I can't sharpen my own knives, but if somebody's going to do them professionally for free, well, I'm okay with that. I'm going to kick up the heat here a little bit. So while the bacon's cooking, I cut up the peppers. I use them in pretty big chunks. I know when the missus cuts them up, she cuts them up into much smaller chunks. I kind of like to have a little bit bigger bite of them. Peppers are very nutritious. Vitamins and minerals that you need, not too many calories. It's one of the advantages of vegetables. They're not adding a lot of calories to your meal, but they are adding a lot of nutrition to your meal. And then like with your oranges and your lemons, limes, and grapefruit, they actually are diuretic and they will help you lose weight. So hopefully I got more than one person in chat. I think I know who that might be. Got Troll Slayer here. Just letting you know. No matter how you come in as, I can tell. I'm Santa Claus. I know when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. I know when you're bad or even worse because you're never good. I got that rolling. So once again, no potatoes. I'm going to kind of keep this lighter. I'm holding my 244 body weight, which is where I want to be. May 10th will probably be my next competition. And my goal will to be break the weights I did this competition. So I'm never really competing against anybody, although I was competing with somebody this time. Nick Simmons was in my same age and weight class. Thank you, Christopher. I'm just buying looser clothes. See, if you buy bigger clothes, then you look leaner. Now I'm hanging at that 244, and I have noticed that I'm starting to get back to the physical attributes I used to have. And I might even do a replay again when I did the vitamin series. And back then, my health wasn't very good. I was in recovery mode. I was probably about 232 pounds. I had this cough I couldn't get rid of when I was doing that series. I was really still suffering the after effects of COVID. Definitely, I think at the time I only had about a 335 pound bench. So yeah, sometimes it's good to see that video and see how far I've come by by first of all getting healthy enough to get back in the gym, and then by really going at it and not settling. Christopher, you've been here long enough to know that there was times when a discussion was being had with my subscribers and myself that maybe it was time to stop lifting very heavy, and maybe it was time to start doing lighter weights at reps. That conversation had gone on probably, I would say, from January till probably all the way until April or June. And I'm glad I decided to ignore it because, now I'm back to where I was at. And I feel really good about that. Had I would settle for just doing reps, had I just settled that, it'd still have been good. It'd still be in great shape, but it wouldn't be the potential that I feel I should be. So sometimes you have to be true to yourself. Taking a deadlift break, focusing on squatting both front and back. Think I'm on to something. Yeah, well, your squat will help your deadlift. Your squat will help everything. I got to get back into that. I think I might just be doing it with machines because, I don't know, I'll do some light squats, and I might do that today. We'll see what the gym looks like. I'm going to go to the gym in Pontiac. So now I have 3 local gyms to go to. I have the Edge Fitness. I have the Wellness Operations Center, which is some people I've worked out with, and some trainers have opened up their own gym. And I put a lot of yesterday's videos were from the Wellness Center. And then I still go to Fitness Premier in Pontiac because it's right next to where I work. So it's convenient. And convenient helps. I also might be doing a demo with this torture device, the ab roller. I haven't done these for a while, so this might be the special video. All right. And that's just it. When you are in the getting in fitness mode, and that there's only so many hours a day that you can work out, but you have hours. Don't say you don't, you do. And sometimes you kind of forget about some exercises over time. So the one I kind of forgot about for a while was pull-ups. So I'm reconcentrating on them. Well, here's another exercise I kind of forgot about. These are ones I did at home. So I used to have a pull-up bar. I got to refine it. Push-ups and ab rollers I used to do at home. Every time I came home, I'd knock out a couple sets. Now, I'm older, and the energy level is not the same when I do come home. I ain't gonna lie. The last 2 nights, I was pretty tired. which is the way I want to be. I want to be tired when I come home and go to bed. I mean, that is really how you want that to work out. So the bacon is very high quality bacon. So high quality bacon doesn't dissolve to nothing when you cook it. So I'm gonna have to add some butter to it when I cook the veggies. And that's okay too. So I got that cooking. Like this morning, I slept in. I woke up about 6 a.m. So I was able to hear the wife get ready to go to school. You know, and then I laid back down, woke up at 7:30. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna probably get up and move here pretty quick. And then next thing I knew, it was 8:40. I was like, whoa. And then my son called me, and that got me out of the bed. So spent quality time with the Kit Kat. And I said, well, let me do my later breakfast. So I'm having breakfast for lunch. It's really too wet to do any sort of walk. I'd be more like wading to the pond and back instead of walking to the pond and back. So I will sit there and kind of get relaxed. And then probably around 1 o'clock, I'll head to the gym. And then I'll work out. And then I'll go to work. So, yeah, working squats both front and back, that's good stuff. And you just got to keep making sure that you're doing all the exercises that you want to and need to do. I got that cooking. I'd like to thank everybody from the sports channel. Everybody that stops in hits the thumbs up. I've got the feeling like my notification did not go out today. You know, what I really need to start doing is getting a live set up at like 8 in the morning. And then there's plenty of time for the notification to go out to everybody. So I think that's a lot of things. It's just timing. I think you need to at least start your live streams about 45 minutes before you have them. Because I know that's when I get the notifications. I usually get a notification the live stream is going to start in 30 minutes. So I think I might be doing myself a disfavor there by waiting too long to get these started. My fault. I'll make the correction. I wasn't sure if I was going to do anything. Or if I was going to do it from the gym. When I got up earlier, it would have been from the gym. Yesterday, I had to mute the sound often just so I wouldn't get hit with copyright infringements. And then on my video, I just muted song completely so I didn't have to worry about it. Made things a little bit easier. I just put in a lot of text messages in there kind of explaining what I was doing. Here at home, I don't have to worry about that, which is kind of nice because I don't have any music playing in the background. I haven't even turned the news on yet. I usually tune it on for about a half hour. But it's depressing. So I got the red and green peppers all set up. Just waiting for the bacon to get done. I'll throw a tap of butter in there. I'll cook that, and then I'll pop in more eggs. So I have the fresh eggs mixed with the store-bought eggs. And what I'll do is I'll mix them together until I finally get rid of all the store-boughts, and then hopefully I'll be able to keep not the weather getting warmer. The chicken should be laying more. So hopefully I'll be able to stay well supplied with the fresh eggs. So I think, Christopher, it's just you and me right now. I usually do get a few more people in, but I don't know how accurate that count is. Sometimes it's not very accurate. But I do appreciate the people that do come in and say hello. It helps the channel. Also, I'm here to motivate. So remember, 1,001 ways to exercise are all good ways. If you are contracting a muscle, you are exercising. Whether it's under a light load, medium load, or a heavy load. Whether you're using weights, chains, bands, springs, kettlebells, milk jugs, big stones, whatever. It's all exercise. And when somebody's trying to be too critical of your exercise online, ignore them. 99 times out of 100, when I go to their page, they have nothing about fitness. So please stop. All right. You're not that good and nobody cares. So do what's good for you. I lift heavy because that's what I do. It's in my mentality. It's not for something everybody to do. I try to do it as safely as possible. Would it be easier for me to do less weight, more reps? Sure it would. Would it, be safer? Oh yeah, I agree. It'd be safer. It's just not in my DNA. But if you're doing that, great. Continue to do what's good for you. Listen to what's good for you. Do what works for you. And listen to your body. Soreness is good. Being sore a couple days after a workout is a good sign. It means you really worked it out. Being in pain during a workout is not. Another rule of thumb is don't do the same body exercise. Don't use the same muscle if that muscle's still sore. So if you did a chest workout and then 2 days later you go to do a chest workout again and your chest is sore, you're not doing yourself any good. Do something else. Do back, do legs, but do something else. Because the soreness is telling you that the body has not recovered and healed the damage that you did yet. So you need to do that. So all exercise is good. Run, walk, hike, Pilates, yoga, martial arts, boxing, weightlifting, straps, resistance, calisthenics, stretching, all that stuff is good for you. And remember, body weight exercises such as push-ups, pull-ups, deep knee squats, something you can do every day because your body is designed to do that every day. Doing a heavy bench, no, twice a week probably is sufficient. If you're younger, maybe you can get away with 3 days a week, depending on how fast you heal. But generally, the body weight ones. So even though I did pull-ups yesterday, I may do them again either today or tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow, I'll probably go to bench. But I may do pull-ups again today when I get in the gym because they're set up for it. And my goal is to be able to do 3 sets of 10 by May. That's my goal. I got to have goals. And why do I always put that? Because I know I can do that. I've done that in the past. I know I have the ability to do that. I just stopped doing them for a while. Now I'm paying for it. So instead of going, oh, darn, I gave up on it and now it's too late. No, it's never too late. So now I just refocus on it. And get her done. And that's the way to do it. You need to refocus on it and get it done. All right. Today is the best day to start exercising. Not the first of the year, not the first of the next month. Today. Whether it's just doing some push-ups, if it's doing push-ups off the sink like Barry Meadows does, if it's just doing, do deep knee bends, do. Anything that you usually are not doing, stairs. Reason I can do stairs is we have stairs here. My brother, who now lives in a ranch house, has a problem with stairs. Why? Because stop doing them. And when you stop doing it, it's a law of use and disuse. When you stop using something, it becomes less capable of doing that. That's with anything in life. If you stop doing math problems, your ability to do math will diminish over time. How much will? I don't know. Some people have different abilities on it. I'm really good at math, but I try to use my head more often than I use a calculator. And I'm usually only using a calculator to test what I did in my head. All right, so I got the bacon. Woo-wee. So these are really good, nice thick strips. You've seen how big they were when I put them in. Look, they're still a good size. So they didn't cook down to nothing. Like your bargain brand ones that cost the same amount of money. Because it didn't cook down to nothing, it means I need a little more cooking medium. So what I do is I put a dab of butter in there to kind of slowly saute the vegetables, which is the green and red peppers. So is there a difference between the two in nutrition-wise? Not really. Red pepper might have a mineral or two that the greens do not. and vice versa. But your body is a very complex engine. Does many things. Remember, magnesium is involved in 600 chemical reactions in your body. Over 600. So that is something important to take. So I always take a multivitamin, and it would catch all. And then I usually take an iron once a week. And I take there's my magnesium. Let's get the magnesium. There's my arginines. Arginine, there we go. There you are. And a vitamin K I take once a week. Now remember, vitamin K, if you are on blood thinners, you need to talk to a doctor first. All right, because it acts against the blood thinner. So then you go by your doctor saying, hey, I'm thinking about taking vitamin K once a week. What do you think? And if they tell you not to, then don't. It's a good vitamin to have, but it's not that important. And it's usually one you will not find in a multivitamin because of that. You don't find iron in multivitamins anymore, which they're just trying to protect themselves. Even though 70% of the population is deficient in iron. Iron is also something you can take too much of, so they don't put it in a daily vitamin. They used to, years and years ago, have a multivitamin plus iron. They don't do that anymore, or I haven't seen it. So once again, thanks, Christopher, for being here, and a few people that popped in and popped right back out. Remember, thumbs up and comments help the algorithm. I don't suffer trolls. If you're a troll, just go somewhere else. I will block you immediately. I ain't got time for fools. Life is too short to deal with fools. I'm sorry your life sucks. You're not going to share it with me. I pretty much know when it'll start. I know what I said, so it could start any time now. I do get some funny comments on Instagram. I don't know, Christopher, if you're on that, but I did one. I recorded my phone, so it's not an audio-visual device, so to speak. So I guess the weights, it's picking up the clanging of the weights, even though the weights are not wobbling. It makes it sound like the weights are wobbling. And I get people, well, it's fake noise. Well, it's not fake noise. It's what the camera, recorded. It's what the phone recorded. It is what it is. Why'd you add that in there? I didn't. It's what was recorded. If I knew it was going to be an issue, I would have muted the whole thing. Got 3 or 4 people arguing with this point to me, going, "No, folks, that's the noise that was being made. I don't care what you think. It just was recorded." So go to my live stream. Maybe my laptop records it better. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for the thumbs up. Oh yeah, I was going to do a text, but let me pop that poll in there now. Oh man, I had all 3 choices figured out too. And now I think I forgot. Yep, I forgot. I had 3 good choices. I should have wrote them down. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It was about. Let me try this one. Oh, I don't think I can do that. Okay. All right, so I got kind of a poll in there. Maybe that'll cause more engagement. Who knows? Right now, it doesn't seem like I got too much engagement going. I got Chris in there, got a few people popping in there, and then they're gone. So once I get the green peppers close to where I have them sauteed, that's when I add the eggs. Probably just again like yesterday, I'll throw probably 3 or 4 eggs in there. I don't want to overeat. So I'm trying to maintain the body weight, but I do want to make sure I'm getting enough protein and calories to support what I'm doing. So what did I learn today? Don't start the live stream until 30 minutes after you put it out there. Now, get close, gonna give it a few more minutes. Always cook on a low medium heat. Don't want to be in a hurry. There's no need to. You gotta take your time. I think that one's gonna be good. I can probably put these ones back away. Pasture raised. You eat pasture raised and never left chicken coop. So I was lucky enough to catch my neighbor outside, so I was able to get eggs. I'd rather catch him outside than knock on the door. No reason why not, but you know, I know he's got a routine just like me that he does before work. Of course, I don't mind if somebody stops by. That's fine. So remember, magnesium, multivitamin, vitamin K. Vitamin K, if you're on blood thinners, don't take them unless the doctor says okay. So an okay, unless you get an okay. And then iron. Iron I take once a week. I eat a lot of meats that have iron in them. I cook with cast iron. So I don't take it as a daily because that would probably be too much because your body does store iron. But I think once a week is good for you. It supports your hemoglobin, circulatory, and your ability to carry oxygen. To carry oxygen to the muscles, which is very important when you're working out. Because the more oxygen you can get into your muscles, the better they can perform. And the better they can perform, the better exercise that you get. And the better exercise you get, the better development, strength, and endurance that you learn to produce afterwards. Which is interesting because one of the main drugs that they caught people in the Olympics doing during the Winter Olympics is they were taking some sort of drug that had their body produce a greater amount of red blood cells. So they were able to carry more oxygen to the muscles. Now, I remember I was watching the cross-country skiing. It was like, oh my God, this guy was boom, boom, boom. I mean, he was just a machine. You ended up winning it. We're like, oh man, that was awesome. Well, then they drew blood. And the ratio was not correct. And I don't know what the ratio to white blood cells and red blood cells are supposed to be. I'll look it up and I'll find out later. But it wasn't even close. So, of course, they disqualified him. I said, well, no wonder he was a machine. Because, you know, he had ethanol in there. He had 104 octane he was burning instead of the regular 87. I remember I used to do that when I get in a few races with my Camaro. You know, I get somebody that would sit there and have the mechanical part better than mine want to race me. Well, I went to the chemical. So I would sit there and load it up with 104 octane. I'd put some octane boosters in there. And I'd beat them. They'd get mad. Especially when I'm rolling the Camaro up on a low boy. And they're like, why are you doing it? Well, I got to drain the tank. I can't burn this stuff too much longer. I'll blow my engine. Hey, Okie Khan, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. Thanks for the thumbs up. So I got a 50-50. I wonder what the 50-50 is. Somebody doing it? Okay, is all exercise good for you? I got a yes and no. All right. So appreciate the votes. And there's no wrong answers. It's an opinion. One thing that people think is, because that would be like, only you do it exactly the way I tell you. Well, if I told you, only if you answered exactly the way I tell you that. No, there's no wrong answers. They're opinions. You are allowed to have opinions, even if they are different than somebody else's. Even here, you can have a different opinion than me. That's okay. There's no penalty box. How dare you? No. A couple of these are jumbo eggs. So jumbo eggs are 8 grams protein. So there's 16 and 6 is 22. And the milk will carry maybe about another 26. So that literally gives me the protein I need for a meal. And when I say for a meal, because your body can digest about 30 to 50 grams of protein per meal. So a lot of people who are in fitness, such as myself, we eat 5 meals a day. Now, they're not big meals, but the thing is we're trying to get the protein intake, support all the damage it did to the muscles. So does anybody remember how many grams of protein a day your brain needs? I've mentioned this a few times in my live stream. Does anybody remember the answer? And how many grams of protein do you need per day for just your brain to function? I'll give you some multiple choice. How's that? So is it A, 90 grams a day, B, 45 grams a day, or C, 30 grams a day? So A, B, or C? Is it 90, 45, or 30? We'll see if anybody's listening in. Or are they at work and just got it open in the window letting it run so I get time, which I appreciate. Nothing wrong with that. So how many grams of protein a day does the brain need? Is it A, 90 grams? Is it B, 45 grams? Or is it C, 30 grams? Then I'll ask it a few times until I get an answer. So now I won't go anywhere until somebody answers the question. So how many grams does the brain need a day to function healthy? Is it A, 90 grams? Is it B, 45 grams? Or is it C, 30 grams? For just the brain. If I only had a brain, I'd be happy, I'd be witty. Da-da-da-da-da-da. How do you remember the lyrics of the song? So this will probably be one of those ones that I throw a little steak sauce on. I'm almost out of it, so I need to buy more. We need another Costco run. The steak sauce is not for steak. You put it on steak, you made a mistake with your steak. Let me see how we go. More than my brain gets. There we go. So is it A, 90 grams, B, 45 grams, or C, 30 grams? What is the recommended amount? Although I do like your answer, Aroki Khan. Here we go. You're going to guess 90, and you guessed correctly. Congratulations. There is breakfast, late breakfast. But literally, it's a meal you can eat anytime during the day. There are times I have breakfast for dinner. Why? It's easier to cook. I always have it, I always have the necessary ingredients. So I always got bacon, always got eggs, always got milk. I don't always have the veggies, but I try to. So it's something that you can have anytime during the day. So for us coming later, remember my sponsor, Cutco Knives. And then they had some toys. So an axe I picked up. Now, this is not for chopping wood. You can chop wood with it. That's not why I have it. And nice little dirk I picked up at a medieval fair in Wisconsin. Just because I liked the way it looked. It's kind of like my decorations. I got my MacBean Scottish Fitness coffee cup, which I also use for milk. I also use for grapefruit, orange juice. I use it for everything. It's 14-ounce cup. So 14 ounces is about 24 grams of protein. So 24, got 6 with the bacon, that's 30. And I got 54 grams of protein with the breakfast as it sits. Once I get some of the food in me, that's when I take the vitamins. So I got my multivitamin. I got my magnesium. Now I take other vitamins later on in the day too, which will include calcium, zinc, vitamin D on its own, vitamin C on its own. The vitamin K I take with D because it absorbs better with the presence of vitamin D. I take this once a week. If you're on blood thinners, talk to a doctor first. And then iron, I also take once a week. And what I'll do is I will take it absorbs better in the presence of vitamin C. So I will take it with a vitamin C also. So if you just ingest iron by itself, your body doesn't absorb much of it. But if you take it with vitamin C, then it does. That's why sometimes when you cook meats, you do citrus over them because meats do contain some iron. So, for now, that's eating done right. You guessed A, absolutely. Brain takes a lot of protein. It does. And remember, your brain gets number one priority, then your heart's number two. They get more priority. That's why, in the winter, your hands and feet get cold because your body is pulling all the blood into the brain and the chest cavity to keep it at temperature. It will sacrifice the limbs. So I thank everybody for joining in. Appreciate the thumbs up. I'll be heading to the gym later. I may live stream it. I don't know. We'll see how busy it is. If it's not busy, I'll live stream it. If it is, then I'll just take videos. All right. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. I will try to have the other one start a half hour later. It's just difficult to do so. Because, yeah, I do too. I like all sorts of blades. I'm into those. They're nice to have around. Well, thanks for joining in. Thanks for participating. And remember, all exercise is good for you as long as it's proper form.